Mine okay?
Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings.
Hola.
Very good.
Is that the right word?
That is the right word. Hello.
All right. Hello. Welcome. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. You flipping your little foot up and down here? You fired up about something today?
It's a busy day today.
Busy day today. Counting down.
Crazy in the building across the street.
That's what you got, like 4 days?
They have 3 days left, so the exams are going for the upper school students. The lower school teachers are frazzled and exhausted.
Trying to keep the lid on.
Trying to keep it all together.
So what is it? I got a little message from Elizabeth, or email from Elizabeth saying there's treats over there. What was going on with that?
The church treated the teachers with breakfast this morning, so we had yogurt and donuts and fruit.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. You know, teachers, you put food in the teacher's lounge, it's gone. It's gone.
But I'm glad we're doing that, because that's a relationship we're building stronger and stronger and stronger, because it's such a powerful outreach ministry for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have 600 plus students over there, and then you add over 100 teachers from preschool up through high school now. So,
wow.
Yeah, we love to be able to pour into them and encourage them as much as we can. And
so, which would be more demanding, the last few days of school or the vacation Bible school?
The last few days of school.
Why do you say that?
Because everybody's exhausted.
Oh.
Parents are exhausted, kids are tired, teachers are exhausted.
So the little people will come in for vacation Bible school.
They'll be rested.
That's like 3 weeks, isn't it?
That's 3 weeks away. Yep, June 14th through the 17th, we still need some volunteers to do some of the things like registration, to help with registration and snack time.
But I think you said it's already filled out as far as
the children. We have 350
Wow.
children.
That's a lot of little people.
It is.
Got enough ropes for
is.
everybody to hold on to and all
Well,
that?
the older ones don't have to use ropes, so I think we're good.
So you got,
We're good.
but you're short of volunteers?
We still need a few. So if you're interested in volunteering, that would be very much welcomed.
All right, and so it's, what's the time frame if you want to volunteer?
If you want to volunteer, it's 9 till noon. You'd probably have to be here at 8:30. Finishes up at noon starts on Tuesday through Friday, so 4 days.
And that's which
June the 14th through the 17th.
third week? Well, we ought to have people out there to do that. We got
I think
plenty of
so.
time. You put on your
Absolutely.
golf clubs or your bocce ball or
Pickleball.
pickleball. Yeah, pickleball. Somebody was telling me that they're, I want to say they live at Pinecrest over there, and that they're installing pickleball courts over there.
That is apparently a huge thing around here. I know that they have they even have a league or something in Sun City. It's a big deal. I saw a restaurant recently when I was traveling, and it was like chicken and pickleballs. Chicken and pickleball was the name of the restaurant.
That was the name of the restaurant?
Yeah, so they had pickleball. Is it a court?
I don't know.
I don't know anything about it. A pickleball courts, and then they have a restaurant so you can eat and then watch
watch
people
the
play, and then you can play and then eat.
Kind of like karaoke
Or bowling.
or bowling or something like. Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
So Sunday night was fun.
Sunday night. Tell them about Sunday night.
Sunday night we had a night of worship at the historic campus. I was sitting close to the front, so I'd never looked behind me. I was worshiping, man.
Had a good group of people
Had a
there.
good group of people. I knew it was a good group of people because of the voices. Everybody came to sing and to worship. So it was congregational worship. It wasn't us being entertained by Josh and Nathan and Bethany, although they did a fantastic job. But it was very casual. I loved the casualness of it.
Yep. And that, there in that historic church and playing that ancient concert grand piano, and it's kind of a contrast to things, because then you have Nathan there with his guitar, and yeah, it was real nice. Just a different setting than what we done in the chapel.
We're trying to move it around. So the next one's going to be after summer, September the 11th, in the Cross Schools Gym. You'll get more information about that coming up as it gets closer, but we have the Equinox Orchestra coming from Savannah.
What is that, the Equinox Orchestra?
They played at Pearls to Pluff Mud last year and this year.
It's an orchestra?
Well, it's a really fun band.
And they play worship
And
music?
yeah. The
Equinox?
lead, one of the lead singers is going to seminary right now while he's on the side.
Wow.
Yes. So they do
September
a
11th.
lot of worship. So that'll be September 11th.
That's a Sunday night?
A Sunday night in the Cross Gym, and that'll be open to the community. So we'll be advertising in the community. They have a following. They play at Palmetto Bluff a lot. They have played down at the Promenade outside before.
I've missed that.
Fun group.
I'll catch it September 11th.
They're from New Orleans area originally.
And they travel, they come up here to play?
Well, they live in Savannah now,
Oh,
but they're originally from
Okay, great.
West Monroe, Louisiana.
Down there in the Cajun Bayou, French speaking, all that
It's where Duck Dynasty people are.
Duck Dynasty people. Is that where they are?
That's the only reason I know West Monroe,
Oh
Louisiana.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
Yeah,
Making duck calls and all that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lost touch with. They were real big for a while, and then I don't know.
Well,
what
then they
happened to them.
stopped doing the show, and but several of them are doing ministry things.
Okay.
So what you been up to?
Meet with new people. Got
So
slug of them.
in his office, there are bags lined up. How many bags do you have?
There
It was
just-
19 the other day.
Yeah, but I've met with 3 or 4, so it's down, and got 3 today, and then tomorrow's 5, and then Thursday I got 1, and then I have to go to Charleston Thursday and Friday. So out of pocket for that. Then I'll crank it back up when we get back. We're on vacation next week.
So we will do Ponderings from on location next week.
All right. At Edisto, that'd be great. We did that last couple of years. It worked out with your,
We just use the computer.
yeah, Zoom kind of thing. Yeah, that'd be great. Look forward to that.
So what is several people send emails about this. I've visited a few times. I'd like to join. The process for joining is quite simple.
Call and make an appointment. Or fill out a visitor card.
A Connect card.
A Connect card and say in the bottom that you want to join, and then we'll call you and set up an appointment for you to come in. Sit down and talk with me. We'll see what's what. Get a few Circes.
Yes, there's a bag of items for you.
Yep. And we'll start the journey together. Had a nice man today from Staten Island, New York.
Oh, wow.
In the same church for 50-something years, an evangelical free church.
Wow.
And his wife died 3 years ago, and last year he decided it was time to he'd come south and kind of start over again. And so he joined today, and he visited other churches in the area and all that, and said he's always asking people where they go to church. He said, if you say do that in New York, nobody goes to church anywhere.
Oh,
But he said down here, everybody he's talked to goes somewhere, see? Or else they have a recommendation. So he's getting a haircut, and a lady was doing his hair, and she said, I don't go to church, but when I do go to church, I went at Christmas time to Church of the Cross, but the barber over there goes all the time. And I think it was Jeff Land. He didn't tell me the name, but he came over and talked to him, invited him to come. He said he's been here five times. He's heard all of us. And he said, it's like y'all got a murderer's row of preachers. Obviously a Yankee fan from way back, but he said everybody's good. And he said, but it's all about the gospel. And that's what he likes. And he said his church up there is kind of slipping away from that. And then the churches he's visited down here, they were nice and all that, but there wasn't too much social stuff going on in the preaching and all that. But anyway, and he was involved with a ministry kind of like Hal, Healing After Loss, up there. He would like to get involved with that here, but he really wants to get involved too with Connections. And he went and he spoke to Elizabeth about getting connected and all that and how special she was, and he'd like to get involved with that ministry. So we talked for a while, I gave him a Bible, and he had plenty of Bibles, but he said, I'll take this one and I might give it to somebody else. I like that. He's in a men's Bible study Thursday afternoon, Sun City, with some of our folks, and a real special fellow.
So have you
People come from
always,
everywhere.
since you've been the rector here, have you always done that where when people want to join you've always met with them? That's not anything new.
No, I've always done that. Because I just think you need to have some, you stand in that pulpit up there, there's a lot of people in front of you and online and all that, and it's maybe 10 feet, but it just well to be 100 feet. And so it gives a chance to get connected, and it's amazing how many people say this, they've never had an opportunity to sit down with the minister before, and particularly in a big church. So we start out that way, and because you've heard me say before, you miss the people, you miss the point. And it's just a way to start.
Is that also an opportunity not just for you to get to know them to get to know you, but also an opportunity for them to ask questions if they're coming from a different denomination or never been to church? Or...
Oh yeah, there's a lot of give and take in that way, and that's always, what kind of questions do you have? And many times they come and they're loaded up with questions, loaded. And a part of that is many times they haven't been in church for a long time. They maybe went to church when they were young and then just quit for whatever reason. And so after 20, 30 years, they're invariably come into a different place than they went before, and they've shopped around, and so they feel something, and so they come and find out what's going on, what is this about, and they have questions about things. The man today had a question about infant baptism. He was baptized as an infant, but came to Christ when he was 18 years old, and then was rebaptized in an evangelical free church. And he thought that was more meaningful because he knew what was going on, and so he wanted to know about infant baptism and how does that hook in with confirmation and all of those kinds of things. Good
Great questions.
Good questions. So, nice fellow.
What would you say do you ask people how they ended up at the Church of the Cross,
yeah.
like with that gentleman?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that most often it is word of mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Someone invited them, or?
Oh yeah, most often. And that word of mouth could be a neighbor, could be like this man, the barber, could be a docent, could be anybody. But
I know several people that's how they
it's
started
that
coming.
idea that the church somebody's going to means enough to them that they would invite somebody else to come. And he was talking about the fact that sitting in front of him this past week was a lady and her husband, and he said he thinks that the husband was there because his wife made him come or something, because it was clear he hadn't been there before. And so he had his head down during the singing and all that. He didn't know what to do. And then when the sermon started, he really engaged in the sermon. And then by the time the sermon was over with, he had tears running down his face. And he looked to his wife, and she just took his hand. And he said, that's special. That's special. But it was, again, somebody inviting somebody. That's what it's about. And if it means something to you, you'll tell people about a good restaurant you go to.
That's true.
It's the same idea, the bread of life and the bread on the breadsticks or olive oil or whatever.
Olive Garden, yeah.
Whatever you're dipping it into, that kind of stuff. Same thing. Same thing, only much more important. So yeah, it's word of mouth is by far the biggest way. Every now and then you'll get somebody who'll come to the Easter sunrise service or a Christmas Eve kind of like a special kind of thing that's more of an event in their life, but they come and something touches them and they come back again, where they've just been moved by the Spirit to do it. But way on, it's word of mouth. Newspaper ads, stuff, that doesn't do anything.
Well, so many people now don't, I mean, there is a newspaper, but very few people actually receive those.
Sunday, your mama got 2 newspapers for me, Savannah Morning News and the Hilton Head thing. $8.38.
For both of them?
Yeah.
That's why people don't get the news. Wow. And it's so many, it's a packet like that probably now.
Yeah.
But most of it's coupons and stuff.
Coupons, and I think that's what people are buying is the coupons. Because the news, if it hadn't been for the Sudoku puzzles in there, I wouldn't have taken 10 minutes on the whole deal. And that's pretty expensive hourly rate there, $8 for 10 minutes. See? So anyway, she said we're not doing that anymore, so through with that. Nice while it lasted. But newspapers are they're becoming old news. By the time you get one, it's all old. And the Island Packet, they were talking about things that happened on Friday, and
right, because they no longer do the Saturday paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about the Saturday game with the NBA, and the game was already over with.
Right.
And so you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just one of those things that's gone by the wayside. Do y'all get the one that is free?
Bluffton Today?
Yeah,
Is
Bluffton
that what it's
Today, and
called?
there's another one too.
Did you see last week's with our friend Kat Robinson on the front?
Oh yeah.
With her crab hat on.
Yeah, that was.
That was
article.
fun.
Yeah, she's a real special lady, and that's an entrepreneur kind of.
Yes, she wrote a
Kind
book.
of thing there, children's book that she did. But what keeps those papers going, and they're free, is they're all local news. They're not repeating stuff from out there that you get over the television. It's all local stuff, and that's the only place you can get that. And there's an interest in that.
I always find their fun stories about like CAD or somebody in the community. It's
That's right.
nice stories about the community.
Just local interest kinds of things.
School board type stuff and county council and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we get those and enjoy going through that and looking for people that we know. But yeah, the big time newspapers are.
Well, they've all moved online. Yeah. To
Going
the
downhill.
online part.
Mom tried to look up something on Hilton Head Island Packet webpage this morning. She said, "You have to subscribe to get it."
Certain things you do because they're not selling as many newspapers, so you have to do the online subscription. So they've
So she
moved
passed
to
on
that. Well, so you finished up your teaching last week. That was really
Finished up
good.
Moses, yep, and then we'll start
Chapter
back again
4.
at some point. Yep, didn't get very far, but got as far as I could get, and so now we'll go into Egypt. I'm going to start again. Don't know when that's going to be, but we'll pick back up with that.
Well, this summer, I just added it to the calendar on Friday. We have a summer program on Wednesdays it'll be held in the gym at Cross Schools because we're going to be doing dinner. We'll have dinner and discipleship for the whole family.
When you say for the whole family, that there's going to be
From babies to 100, however old, doesn't matter.
And Nathan's
We've
doing
got
that.
we've got nursery, we've got a children's program, youth program, and Pastor Nathan's going to be kind of leading it all.
And that's in,
Starts July 6th.
so right after Vacation Bible School.
Mm-hmm.
Right after, yeah. That'd be great. Nathan's a special young man, just like Josh and Jonathan are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he'll do a great job with that.
I was at the chapel service on Sunday, and it was cute. You just kind of put him on the spot. I loved the interaction between
With the announcements.
with the
Yeah.
announcements.
He's a good fellow. Well, the chapel service is growing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, all the services are growing, and I looking forward to the fall, end of August when we bring back the 9 o'clock
Crosspoint.
Crosspoint service.
Yeah, we've got some new staff members coming on this summer, so maybe we'll have each one of them sit in this spot on a
Yep.
Tuesday to kind of introduce our staff members. We've got one starting pretty quick to help us with technology, which we're super
Charlie.
thankful for.
Charlie Fiddler.
Then we've got another administrative person coming in, and lots of faith formation, and so it's just an exciting time.
Really is. Really is. Really is. So when the children finish up this week, then does it all of a sudden go silent over there? Or the teachers coming
On
back
one
in for
end
work
of the
days?
hallway, there's a summer program through the preschool that's still running, but it's much smaller than the whole school. So we'll hear little feet and we'll hear some voices, but it's not loud. So it's very quiet compared to now.
Well, this Friday, are the teachers through too, or do they have to come back in for work days?
I
and stuff?
don't know. They keep saying 3 days, so I think mentally Friday they're done. They might have to come back and do like grades and things like that, clean out classrooms, but the heavy hitting is done on Friday.
Big doings.
So you remember those days.
I remember very well. Very well. Haven't been that long ago. And so you've got food bank goes all summer.
Food bank goes all summer. That never stops, unless it lands on like Christmas Day.
Well, now will there be food bank on Monday? Memorial Day.
Yep, even on Memorial Day. So when you come on campuses this weekend, I keep forgetting it's Memorial Day. I don't know why. It just feels like it snuck up on us. You will see American flags at all the campuses to honor the memory of those that served,
Yep.
have served, and lost their lives.
Yeah. All right. So when you come in this weekend, bring stuff for food bank, and then the food bank is operating
Food bank is
on
operating.
Monday, so the volunteers in that. But I expect God's goods to be closed, and
They're
the
always
church
closed on
offices are
Monday.
closed.
Church offices are closed on Monday, yes.
On this Monday. They're usually open, but closed this Monday. Wonderful. Wonderful.
So everybody will get a little break. Yeah.
So are you excited about anything particular?
Working on women's ministry stuff, looking at the year ahead, trying to look at some events and
How's your new Zoom
planning
Bible study
that.
that you just
the
got cranked up?
Revelation is fantastic. That is going very well. We have a great group of women. I've met some new people, which is fun.
Do you have mostly the same folks who'll come into that, or they come and go? And
It depends. We have a good core group that's been doing it now for 2 years. But this time quite a few new faces have joined the study.
and they're
And from different locations too.
scattered around.
Some of the ladies will invite a friend who lives in another state or something like that. So, but it's a really good study. The way she's covering it is really well done.
Now, when does that finish up?
That goes through August. That's a
you're going
12 to 13 week.
All through the summertime?
Yeah.
But again, it's Zoom, so people can, if they're on vacation or whatever, they can do that. Cruise, if they're on a cruise.
Well,
somewhere.
the only thing with the cruise is if you have Wi-Fi. So it depends on where you're docked or if you're at sea or.
Well, that's true. isn't it?
But I record it, so I record the little teaching time and send it out each week. So if anybody misses, they can watch what we talked about the week before and catch up. So
Great.
it's fun.
Great. How about the new plants up here?
I think they look great.
I water them each day.
We're not going to tell all the secrets.
Fixing to change out some in the lobby
We
out there
are.
too?
We are. Sue's in there nodding her head.
Yeah.
Sue loves plants.
Yeah.
Sue was so sweet. Last Friday, she had some of the women that work here over at her house, which is not too far from here, for lunch. She's got the gift of hospitality.
She got the gift of furniture refinishing too.
Yes, she does.
She does that on the
I saw
side.
several of those pieces. She's pretty talented. We've got so many talented people here.
I think
Like what
that's-
we can't do, like sing. Now I sing and you sing, but it might not be our
Dig out now.
it might, well, I'm saying myself too, it might not be our giftedness.
Okay.
But I love to sing. What was your favorite song Sunday night? I mean, I know which one you picked, but other than that one, which was sweet. And where would I have heard that?
You might have heard
Because
it.
right as soon as it
You
started,
might have heard it at Ascension, and for Vacation Bible School or something like that. It was a children's
it
song.
was really a sweet
But
song.
it wasn't really designed for children, but it became a children's
Right.
song over the years. But yeah, that's an old song, but it's like, there's another great hymn, Fling Out the Banner, Let It Float Skyward and Seaward. That's another great hymn that just got fritzed when they revised the hymn books and went from 1940 to 1982, I think, was the hymn book revision, and they cut out a lot of those songs, but they were just great songs, easy to sing. But that was a children's song. I guess that's why they chopped it out. But
Jonathan's song was Amazing Grace, and he still told a little bit of the story about Newton before that.
Nathan was Reckless Love.
A more modern one.
What was Josh's?
I don't remember the name of it.
But I like all those songs. There were one or two that I was not familiar with, but all the rest of them I was.
So we sang He is Worthy. Well, that's the song that I'm using in the Revelation study because it comes straight from Revelation. So that blessed me.
So would
Some
that
of
have
my
been-
Revelation ladies were on the pew with me.
So would that be your favorite song out of the ones?
That and How Great Is Our God is always.
I started to say that's an old standard, but it's not all that old compared to Amazing Grace and some of those songs.
Right. No, but that one, that always blesses me. Just listening to the words and.
Yep. Yep. So what can I do for you? You're rolling, aren't you?
Trying to.
Trying to.
Trying to.
Trying to. And you got your reunion groups cranked up again?
Yep, our small group started back last week after too long of a hiatus because of schedules and just all kinds of stuff. So it was good to be back in community. You forget how much you miss it until you get back together.
We had
That's
somebody
so essential.
We had somebody at the chapel service this past week, and I can't remember who it was, said that was their first time back since COVID had started. That they, you know, for whatever reason, people get spooked, and then it becomes a way of dealing with worship.
We had that conversation last night, is because your routine changes, and then when you get out of that routine, getting back into it and prioritizing, it's not easy, but it certainly is necessary for sure. You've got to be in community.
You had a habit, then you break the habit and establish a new habit.
Right.
And now you got to break that one.
It's a slippery slope, right? Yeah.
But I think there are some people that really were blessed by the period of time that we had where we had to worship by Zoom. And then there's some people that found that they could worship that way and it's more convenient, but it's not necessary. And then there are other people that we've picked up for whom it is necessary and they would not be able to be involved otherwise.
Right.
So that's an area out there. And I think as people age, that's also a growing edge for us, for everybody, if you want to get into it, and everybody doesn't.
I monitor the online services. If I'm not in attendance, I'm monitoring, or sometimes I'll have my phone up just to make sure everything's going the way it's supposed to. And it's so fun because people who are snowbirds or they're here on vacation and then they continue watching after they go back home, or they're traveling or they're with family, they'll let us know watching from. And we had several from Pennsylvania last week, and
Great.
So that's kind of fun to see that. When people travel now, you're able to stay connected.
And so they're sending you a text message?
It's in the comments. Whoa. I always get entertained by that. Great. And Andy and Shirley will let us know what the weather's like sometimes in Connecticut, and it's fun.
Is the snow over with up there now, you think?
Oh, yeah. Because when you'll say it's a beautiful day in the Low Country, they'll respond, well, in Connecticut today, not so beautiful.
Not so beautiful. Oh.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to see.
A lot of blessings.
A lot of blessings. A lot of blessings, for sure. All right, so we got food bank. I don't have my list of what is needed this week. I remember seeing pasta. We definitely need recycled bags, but I'll try to put in the comments what the needs are for this coming week.
So a ton of recycled bags, paper bags.
This is plastic. We need the plastic bags.
Oh.
They wrap the meat in the plastic bags and then put those in the paper bags just to keep everything from getting wet.
Yeah,
so we need plastic bags.
A lot of paper bags on the historic campus.
And somebody will be going to, probably Roger will grab them and take them. And yeah.
So you're using plastic bags, not for bags?
For meat, to wrap the meat in.
Wow. Okay.
Because sometimes it's frozen.
Well, are they back to saying that you can use plastic bags in grocery stores now, or are they? Not
in Beaufort County. Well, it's called a recycled plastic bag, which means it's thicker. So it's considered recyclable, so therefore those are okay in the big box stores.
You can recycle the bag, or the bag is made from recycled bags?
You can use it more than once, so they call that a recycle bag.
Like the red bags, you use them?
That's a grocery bag, yes, that you can tote.
Tote bag.
Yes, that's a grocery tote.
Tote bag,
you can use over and over again, yes.
All right, so what do people have to sign up for?
Nothing at the moment.
Okay.
come July 6th, the week before that, we will be signing up for food. If you're going to eat dinner, because that's always a big thing, because it is a fear in the South that you don't have enough food.
What?
When you have an event, if you run out of food, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
That's a faux pas.
That goes back to the wedding in Cana, doesn't it?
Yes, you don't want to run out of food.
Nope.
Yes.
So that, but that's, people aren't signing up for that now. But you do want people to call and sign up for volunteering.
If you want to volunteer for Vacation Bible School, which I know that you do, call the office and let Sue know, or send an email to info@thechurchofthecross.net, and we'll get you plugged in.
Yep. Big ministry, big ministry. We need some solid folks to get with that, so the children are blessed.
Yes, and the parents.
And the parents, that's right.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.
See you when I see you. Never doubt God's love for you or mine.